You're on.
So I want to explain the farm basket. The advantage of the farm basket is it's totally organic, natural and organic. The disadvantage of the farm basket is I don't guarantee at all that it's gourmet. It's farm table stuff, good old-fashioned farm table stuff.
Fantastic.
So we have for each basket this sack, which has 4 of these packages of coffee. This is our own coffee from the mountains. We grill it here on these flames over gas.
This is the kitchen.
And then we grind it in these grinders. This is for the, I should say, this is for the New York roast. We do it this way. For the African roast, the ladies do it over a big outdoor fire, and then they pound in a huge pestle to grind it. So when you see the 2 real dark ones in there, that's the African style. And when you see the 2 lighter ones in each bag, then that's New York style.
Perfect.
So that's for the coffee.
We have a friend.
Meu, veio pro meu.
Oh, hot.
No, I'm more worried about that. Okay, so, all right,
Thanks,
now
Ray.
each basket has a small jug of molasses. These are our own molasses. We have a bull churned mill, 2 bulls that turn the mill, the old-fashioned 1700 mill. Electronic things don't last long here. It's 18th century really works well. Even better, 17th century works really well here. Then we sell cane juice directly, and we also do a first boil to what they call cane syrup, and we sell that to people who make whiskey and rum. And then we keep some and do a third boil. The third boil of cane juice gives you blackstrap molasses. So this is blackstrap molasses, 1 for each basket. Then this is honey from our own bees. This is crystallizing a little bit, but it's okay. It's still honey, and honey is made out of sugar.
Sure. Heat it up.
Our bees are moringa fed. They grow on, we grow moringa trees everywhere. That's the main flower. They're not clover. They're mostly moringa bees. But moringa is a very valuable plant, as you know. All right, now, moringa seed, we have some drying over there. On the outside, you'll see that we put them in the
Very
sun
good.
every day. When the moringa seed is dry, then we grind it and put it through a small grinder, and we get moringa oil. This is very expensive. This quantity here sells for $20 US.
Really?
This quantity
No
of
way.
moringa oil. We use it for cooking, and we use it for salads. So there's a small jar of moringa oil
Very good.
for each basket. Then we have, this is sugarcane wine.
Oh, nice.
So, like I said, it's not gourmet wine, but it's wine, and it's made from sugarcane. So there's a bottle of each, and we have to find the best way that it doesn't open on the way.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So,
That's called the Debbie Hamilton method of packing.
so let me
Rum
show
soaked
you.
clothes.
Let me show you a little more. Nous mettez ça à chaque fois que vous capez ici à chaque fois. Okay, this is all sugarcane vinegar. This is sugarcane vinegar.
Nice.
So a lot of vinegar you buy in the store, it's not vinegar at all. Look it up. This is organic vinegar. And we also have mango vinegar. So we have sugarcane vinegar and mango vinegar.
Nice.
So there's 1 bottle of each for each basket.
Very cool.
But the reason this is the mango vinegar, in fact. So I'm showing you this because what we do on our salads is we put the moringa oil and the mango vinegar
Nice.
and some salt and pepper on our salads. It's really delicious.
Very cool. Thanks.
All right, now let me show you something else. This will be really interesting to you. We make chocolate from scratch. We get the pods from Jack Mel and from Dom Marie. Dom Marie is way out in Jeremy. and Jacmel is to the south, but not way out to the tip. So just to show you different stages, these are fermented and dried. Fermented and sun-dried. These are ready for roasting. So we roast them on big pots there, just to show you the stages. Let me show you some that are fermented, because we just opened the pods today. I'll show you ones that are fermented.
Rick makes dinner for the depot workers every night now. That's where we're dining tonight.
These are fermenting. We opened these pods today. The way to ferment them, countryside way, you have a box, drill holes in the bottom. You see as it ferments, it's giving an alcohol. So then you put, these are the seeds. You put them in big piles under banana leaves. And it'll be 6 days. Tomorrow I have to turn them. It's mostly anaerobic process, but you have to mix them so that they all ferment together. So tomorrow I'll mix them and then cover them again. They go out in the sun at night, just because in case it rains we bring them in, but they go, this is all done in the sun.
Did someone teach this to you from down here?
Yes, there's a, you know how it is, how easily connections are made now in the world. There's a woman at the embassy with USAID. Her husband is French, who obviously doesn't work with the American government here, but doesn't have a lot to do. He's a chocolatier.
Well,
He's a
there you
French chocolatier.
Well, you learn from the best
So,
then.
yeah, so one day the wife comes to Mass sometimes, and one day she said, would you like to learn to make chocolate? Her husband offered. And then I took lessons from him. But they ran when COVID started. They all left the country. So most of this year they've been out. But he continued by WhatsApp and email to keep instructing me. I would take pictures and send with questions.
Very nice.
So you see, they go from fermenting to dry in the sun. And then I'll show you the next thing. Here people eat chocolate in a big ball. And it's not sweet. You know, cacao is not sweet. Unless you add sugar to it, it's not sweet. People here, they use it in this grainy ball and they grate it to make food out of it. Really? But if you want to make Swiss chocolate or something for your Valentine or Belgian chocolate, you can't do it that way. And you need this machine. And the chocolatier gave me this machine. Let me show it to you.
It smells like tilapia and chocolate.
So these are stone grinders. India is the best producer of these stone grinders for Indian cuisine.
Oh, wow.
The bottom of this is stone. These rollers are stone. You put the rollers in, set that horizontal, and you put in the beans, but we need to crush them first, or this will take years to grind. If we crush them manually and then blend them, put them in a blender, and then put them in here, then we're looking at 6 hours or 8 hours worth of grinding.
Very cool.
But this is what takes all the grainy taste out of the cacao when these stones grind them for so long.
Very good.
Then here is the formula the chocolatier told me. This is what I do so far without much variation. This can make 10 kilo at a time. So 4 kilo are the nibs. Let me show you the nibs. I didn't show you that part. These are the seeds you saw over there after they're grilled on this stove, it's a flame or a flame outside. Then you take the skin off. This is what you have, nibs.
Okay.
These are all chocolate nibs. We do two things with the nibs. We make chocolate in that, and we also extract cacao oil from these. And cacao oil is needed in making chocolate. You have to reinforce the nibs with more oil.
Is that the cocoa butter? Is that
Cocoa
the same
butter.
thing?
Yeah, it's also called cocoa butter.
Very cool.
Yeah. We say cacao here because cocoa here is a coconut.
Oh, okay.
So
There you go.
we have to just precise it a little bit. So we put in 4 kilos of these and let them grind for about 6 hours.
Nice.
The test is just put in the spoon and see if they're smooth in your mouth. But it's bitter. It's just to see if they're smooth. Then we add a 3.5 kilo of sugar, 2 kilo of powdered milk. So that brings you 4, 7.5, 9.5 kilo. And then we add a half of liter of cacao oil.
That is very cool.
The chocolate oil.
Sure.
Yeah. And then we make the chocolate.
Very
So
nice.
let me show you the finished product,
The
because
best
some
part.
of it is going to Boise.
Maybe a little extra is going to Boise in my bag.
Harold, what paye pour yo?
Oui, ma vie.
Oui, de temps en temps, regardez au plus pas bon.
Hey, beautiful. How you doing?
Ouais, madame,
So this is, we made this the other day. All of this is 10 kilo of chocolate.
Very nice. Love it.
We don't have molds for chocolate bars. I have to use ice cube.
Well, that works.
Ice
Hey,
cube thing.
chocolate is chocolate.
So then when we take them out of the ice cube, like we're getting these ready for Christmas, then we put a little tin foil around them and then wrap them with a little bit of Christmas paper
Love it.
by a code.
Yeah, it looks pretty yummy.
This code means this has almonds and raisins in it. We have green Christmas paper for these. These have mint in it, a
Nice.
buttermint that melts in your mouth.
Gotcha.
So some of these are plain, and some of these are almond with raisins.
Very nice.
And then these are just bars. These are bars of plain chocolate. These will be sending some of both with the basket. I'm a little worried about it. Matt, you can take a taste of this if you like. This is a bar that broke, so we eat it a little bit at a time. Again, I don't guarantee it's gourmet, but it's not bad either.
No, it's fantastic.
So let me tell
It's
you.
like chocolate.
Let me tell you the only worry I have about it. The last phase, when all your chocolate is what they call liquor, that really only means in French that it's liquid. When it's all like a big chocolate soup, and it's delicious, by the way, you just want to spoon it down after the milk and after the sugar and the extra oil. You still have to what they call conch it, and then you have to temper it.
Sure.
Conching is mixing better. We don't have machine to do it, so we just raise the wheels off the floor. So it's not a crushing motion; it's more a blending motion.
Okay. Sounds good.
Maybe we could conch with a blender too. I'm doing internet study to find out. But the most important thing, Matt, is the tempering.
Yeah.
Chocolate can crystallize in 3 or 4 forms. There's only one form that will give you shiny crisp that won't melt in your hands at body temperature.
Yeah.
If you can't get it to that if you can't get it to that crystal, then it melts. It melts easier.
Sure.
It doesn't stay as. It's still good. It doesn't change into something toxic, but it melts easier, including in your hands. We temper a hand way, you know, what I found on the internet, which is basically we take a cold surface, dump it a little at a time on the cold surface, smear it with something like a mason's tool, you know, for the fine cement work.
Sure.
We have a fan blowing on it so the humidity goes away. And then we turn it and turn it, smear it, turn it, smear it, turn it until it looks kind of shiny. And then we put it in the molds. And
Nice.
it's okay, it's not bad. But the only worry I have is how much this is going to melt on the way back.
In my
That's
bag?
my- yes,
I don't know.
exactly. That's my only worry.
I think it'll be fine. I'm not worried.
So I don't have. I promised white chocolate,
Uh-huh.
but I don't have the ingredients for the white chocolate. A lot of white chocolate is not made with cacao at all, believe it or not.
Gotcha.
So I can still send that later, and I'm glad to send it later.
Tell
But
you what, I'll book a new trip to come down and pick it up. How's that sound?
Yeah, but there's no white chocolate in this. There will be dark chocolate,
Uh-huh.
which is not sweet, and there will be the sweet chocolate,
Perfect.
but there won't be white chocolate.
Well,
So
sounds
let me see what else is in it. Oh, the honey wine. So let me show you the honey wine.
gotcha.
What I've learned, any fermentation of a fruit gives you wine. Any fermentation of a grain gives you a beer. And when you distill one of those, then you get liquors.
Oh, okay.
That's how it works. So distillation of wine gives you brandy or something like that. Distillation of beer gives you, I don't know, I forget what. My
I
God,
don't
I
know
didn't
either.
know. But anyway, these are the basic differences.
Gotcha.
Beers are from grains, wines are from fruits, but they consider honey for some reason a fruit.
Huh?
And then when you distill them, they become their own class of hard alcohol.
Well, how about that? Very nice.
Oh, distilled beer is whiskey.
Oh, is it?
How could
Okay.
I forget
well,
that
there
word?
you go.
Let me just check the chicken nut, and then I'll show you the honey wine.
Let's check the chicken. We don't want to burn dinner for all these hungry workers.
Sorry, I'm sending
More dinner right here.
to the States.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. Hey, show me that again.
This is our dinner.
Yeah, that looks like it'll be a good dinner. I'd
These
say.
are our own chickens from today.
Very nice. So that's about as fresh as they get.
And we'll have tomato and cucumber. And if you like, you can try the vinegar sauce and
Sure.
the oil in the vinegar, moringa and,
Yeah,
and the
bring it up.
mango vinegar. Let me show you the honey oil, the honey liquor.
Oh, this is the place we've been looking for. Is that your winery name, Abbey Leo?
Yeah, it's my mark for everything I
Your
make.
mark, I love it.
This is our pharmacy, and I keep some of this stuff in here, not because it needs to be cool, but because of ants.
Okay,
Everything, a lot of things are very practically driven.
very nice. I got it.
These gallons are blackstrap molasses.
Okay, very
So that's 5, 10, 15 gallons in here.
Oh,
And
wow.
we
What
in
a
fact,
molasses.
we have to bottle some more in a little while because we finished the last of it today of what we had on hand. This is honey. This is 5 gallons of honey from our last harvest. This is what I put to send out. And this is honey wine. So we have sugar wine from the cane and honey wine from the bees.
From Abbey
So
Leo.
this I learned online, how to ferment. Mead is the oldest alcohol by archaeology. They haven't found any older alcohol than fermented honey
Oh, how about
in
that?
human history. I often say Adam and Eve must have been drinking this when they sinned, lost the control of themselves. And
We
you
don't
know,
suggest
but-
that. Everything in moderation, okay?
But it's an old alcohol, 5,000 years old with human beings or longer. So the fermentation I learned how to do on internet, and then ordered the stuff to ferment from the States, the different kinds of yeast and the cork stoppers and things like that.
Very cool.
Now they also, this is really interesting, Matt. When you make in the older times, when they made a medical concoction that was liquid in medieval times, they called that a glyn, Glyn, that's the word for it. Mead was an essential part of the medical concoction because if you look like in Saint Hildegard and a lot of the monastics of the Middle Ages that had all kinds of herbal gardens and remedies and things like that, they fermented, for example, with ginger, they fermented with garlic, they fermented with cinnamon, they fermented with lots of different things, and they used the different herbs in mead for different ailments. And then the word for the medical mead was medglin. And our word medicine is a derivative of medglin. In other words, it's mead with the herb, the liquid in liquid form. It's really fascinating.
There's a lesson in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's just etymology. What do you call it? Etymology.
I think etymology.
Etymology, exactly. Etymology.
Very cool.
So
Nice.
that's about the history of the basket.
Well, thank you, Boise supporters. We
Yes,
sure
thank you
appreciate
very much.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
All right.